Bueno, bueno, bueno. Hola, hola, hola.
And energy, I guess. They're importing on energy. Like,
Hola, 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 hola.
like these are the things I think are the scariest part if you're looking at just Europe. I'm not, I talk about American problems every day, so we can talk about Europe for a bit. I think they're just getting kind of squoze.
If you have growth, future taxes can keep pace with future spending, but Dutch and European growth is declining.
You know who's killing it in Europe, though? At least on growth, is Poland. I was talking with a European guy, actually, at my table at the finance conference, and he was telling me about Polish growth rates are.
Hola, hola, hola.
Crazy. In fact, I was also researching stuff about the games industry, and like There's just these massive games layoffs in California and in Montreal, traditional gaming superpowers. Here's the thing is right now, all the money is flooding into Swiss currency because it's stable. So everyone's buying Swiss franc. But when the Swiss currency gets that much stronger, it makes your exports horribly uncompetitive. When your currency is strong, your exports get weaker. And so like, you know, it's like difficult to build an exporting factory in Switzerland or whatever. So you go outsource it to Poland because it's cheaper there. So there's like weird knock-on effects.
The Dutch Minister of Economic Affairs asked Peter Vennick to come up with a similar report, specifically focusing on the Netherlands. For years, he ran ASML, a Dutch company that manufactures the world's best chip-making machines.
Like again, like there's like zero risk for ASML from the American side. The risk on the American side is that Donald Trump is f***ing crazy. He might invade Greenland or break up NATO or whatever, like, or tariff. That's the risk on the American side. But there's not a risk of like ASML getting replaced. It's just part of that supply chain. They're going to use it. But I think there is a risk for all of these of a Chinese competitor just like if China ever cracked what ASML has, they're not really close right now, to be honest, but they're working on it. If they cracked it, it would be overnight a wipeout of like a massive part of the Dutch economy. It would be crazy because they would do it cheaper.
But the Netherlands is also in a strange position. Its public finances are pretty solid. It's well connected to global markets. Unlike
What is Netherlands debt to GDP? Netherlands debt to GDP. Oh my God, they're incredible. They're only 40%. That's like one of the best in the world. They're chilling. They could run it hot if they wanted to. They needed to get out of a slump. Damn, they're down from 2020. Their debt is down from 2020. That's so rare from any country. Wait, why are they? Wait, this? Do they have a? How did they have this? Does Netherlands have a debt break? They do. Okay, I knew it. I knew it. That's what we need. We need a debt break, dude. Was a debt break? No, break like a car brake. B-R-A-K-E. It's like a rule that caps the amount of debt you can take on, and you need like a massive supermajority to change it or extend it. Yeah, it's like a debt ceiling we have here, but not a joke. Not a joke, like a serious one. And you can't get around it very easily because right now there's just no incentive for anybody to make a hard choice ever.
Unlike France, Germany, or the US, it's always been shaped by one unique constraint. It doesn't have enough land. Half the country is farmland.
Okay.
It's one of the most densely populated countries in the world.
I know this. The Netherlands has they have insane greenhouse technology. They like make such a massive percentage of agricultural exports for their size. It's absurd. It's like America, #1 exporter in like everything, and then Netherlands #2, and things like tomatoes and stuff. And it's like they've crammed so much into such a small space.
Because of its density, the Dutch power grid is also filled to the brink. Even when money and the permits for construction are there, things can't get built because there's a 2-year waiting list for a power plug.
I mean, I definitely believe that there's like bureaucracy nightmares in the Netherlands. I believe that. There's a lot of European nations where that's the case. There's that thing in Germany where if you make a contract in Germany, you are required to sit down and have a government notary read it out loud, the entire contract. Like if you... Yeah, you have to get like you have to get a government notary read the thing in front of both parties. And it's like expensive and slow. It's wild. Like, there's some of this that is just stupid. They should just modernize it.
The Netherlands also suffers from a lack of space in the air. In most of Europe, the gas gets spread out. But in the Netherlands, it's a literal Dutch oven. There's too many cows, factories, and cars in a tiny space.
Nice.
So pollution builds up, and it has nowhere to go.
Wait, so you're just trapped in with cow farts? In America, we spread out our enormous amount of cow farts. I feel like they should not do cows. Cows in that small of a country is crazy. I wouldn't call any of this a dystopia, by the way. Once I saw their debt to GDP, I'm not super convinced in this video. I mean, I agree these are all problems. These are problems in many countries in developed Western Europe. These are problems of like aging society, bureaucracy, they're a bit behind on tech, and the huge rise of China as a manufacturing competitor because they've been kind of untouched in all these high-end areas for a long time. These are all real threats to Europe 100%, but I wouldn't, like, dystopias pushing it.
The classic way to increase productivity is through education. Despite the Netherlands being a well-educated country, Dutch school performance has been dipping for years.
Maar als we kijken naar de prestaties in het onderwijs, die dalen al 20 jaar. We zitten onder het gemiddelde van de OESO.
Oh, they're below the OECD average? That's actually pretty terrible. I work at ASML in the US, and the Dutch guys laugh at us all the time when they visit. My 2-week vacation was laughed at. This is so relatable. When I worked at NVIDIA, you know, I was the global marketing lead, so I had to do my calls with Europe and Asia. And the European team, bro, it's like I couldn't even get a hold of them. They had so many bank holidays. So many holidays, so many bank holidays. And then like August, they just take off. I swear to God. And it's like, bro, we're about to launch a GPU. Are you even at the office? And then you email them and it's like, I'm out on, it's like you always get an autoresponder. And the autoresponder would be different every time, which means they're spending more time setting up the fucking autoresponder than they are responding. It's crazy. It was crazy, bro. It's actually frustrating to work with at times. I mean, it's like, you know, they're enjoying life. What do you, I'm not mad about it, especially now that I try to do that myself. But I remember I'd get mad because we had to do we launched something. We had a big thing at Gamescom, which is in Germany. So I had to fly out to Germany with my team and we were like crunching. We were like trying to like get all the emails and the social and the newsletter and the website and the partners. And we were like crunching. We're like no sleep, mostly in the hotel room on laptops grinding. And the European guys were drinking. They're like drinking. They're like, they didn't do shit, bro. They were just drinking non-stop at Gamescom. They would like stumble in. And it's like, bro, we got to finish this. But you know what? They're not going to regret at the end of their life.
Luckily, in his report, Venik at least offers some ideas to break the stagnation.
Well, that's the Carney idea, right? They just have to build the trade blocks outside of the US and China.
He wants to build a 22.5 billion euro AI gigafactory. He wants to sell state-owned enterprises so the Netherlands can make drones, launch its own satellite fleet, power its ships with new...
It's honestly a super good idea. Somebody in Europe, some country in Europe needs to go all in on being the DJI of the West, because it's unsustainable to have all of the drone tech made in China. And drones are so important for the future of warfare. Everything you read about modern warfare, I'm not talking about Call of Duty, drones are insane. They break all the previous rules. They're so important. If Ukraine ever ends the war, they could do it. It would actually be a huge part of their rebuilding if they did it. But understanding of drone tech, people are probably going to import Ukrainian experts to whatever European country does this, and they're going to try to build modern drone tech and get a sustainable ecosystem for that. Because the demand for it is off the charts. And right now it's made in China, like all of it. They're already doing that now. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not the first person to say this. People are trying to do this. And they say this in the video. But like whatever country masters that is going to have an actual sustainable growth industry, because it's not something where even if China outcompetes you, people can't buy from them. You have a natural monopoly of outside of China. It doesn't matter if they match China's cheapness because people will not be able to buy from China. There will be government mandates that will not allow you to have that in your supply chain. What if I import?
Hola, 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 hola.
Chinese drones and sell them as European drones